Hi, my name's Molly and I'm an accountant here at the Field Group Accounting. Today I'm going to run you through how to apply for the Business Support Fund expansion. So this grant is up to $5,000 to support businesses that are currently trading within the restricted postcodes. So there is different eligibility criteria to this grant than there was to the original $10,000 grant. So you need to make sure that you are eligible. There's a list of eligibility criteria here before you do apply. And once you're satisfied that you are eligible and you've read through all of this information, you can start with the application. So you need to read this introduction and make sure that you're happy with all of this information. Confirm you've read the program guidelines and that you meet the eligibility criteria. Then we can go to the next page. So this is the eligibility criteria, and in order to be eligible, you need to be answering yes to all of these questions. So we'll run through these together. So my business employs people and is registered with WorkSafe as at 30 June. My business has an annual payroll of less than 3 million in 2019-20 on an ungrouped basis. Ungroup basis is just referring to some entities are grouped for payroll purposes. So if you are grouped, it's only based on the single entity that you're applying for. My business is registered for GST as at 30 June 2020. My business holds an ABN and has held that ABN at 30 June 2020. I have checked and confirmed my business is registered with the Australian Securities and Investments Commission or the Australian Charities and Not-for-Profit Commission or Consumer Affairs Victoria. So this question is referring to whether you're registered with ASIC or not. So if you're trading through a company and you pay your annual ASIC fee and your registration is up to date, then you can answer yes for this. If you're not trading as a company and you're trading under a name, you need to make sure that that business name is registered with ASIC and that registration is up to date. Otherwise, you won't be eligible. And if you're not sure about this, please contact your accountant and we can help figure out if you are or not, because if you try to apply before the registration is updated, you will be rejected. So you need to get that sorted before you apply. The other option is if you're a sole trader operating under your personal name, then you can select yes. My business operation is located in a local government area identified in the return to stage 3 restrictions. So here you just need to select the council that you're operating within. And the final question is that you're enrolled in the JobKeeper scheme. So here you need to enter your ATO receipt ID number. And if you had have applied for the original grant, you should already have this number as you would have had to enter that. If you don't have this number, you can contact your accountant if they applied for JobKeeper on your behalf and they'll have this. Otherwise, we can contact the ATO and get this number for you. So once you've entered all that and you're happy that you can correctly answer yes to all of those questions, you can proceed. And at this point, they ask you to log in or register. So if you applied for the first grant, you should already have an account. And if you didn't, then you'll need to just create a new account. So as I've already applied for the first grant, I can just continue and log into my existing account. And at this stage, they will also send you an email with the details of this application that's in process so that you can click the link to resume this application if you do need to jump out to get some more information. So you'll then be required to go through and enter some information about your business. So your ABN, your ACN, if you're a company, then this will be relevant to you and it will be your ABN without the first 2 digits. Your business name, so this is where they're going to check ASIC for these registration details. So your business name needs to agree with whatever ASIC has. So if you're a sole trader, then it's just your name. If you're a company, it could be the company name or the trading name. Work cover employer number. So you will need to get that from your work cover supplier. That should be on your notice that should be issued in the first week of July. So you should have received something with that work cover employer number on it. Otherwise, you can contact your provider and they'll be able to get you a copy of that. Here there's a spot to put in your company website address or company Facebook page if this applies to you. Is your business an early childhood service provider and has been a participant in the JobKeeper payment scheme? In my case, no. Is there a trustee associated with the business? So if you're operating as a trust, then there will be a trustee. The name of the trustee is either the trustee company or the individual trustee, and you may need to contact your accountant if you're not sure of this. Business turnover in 2019-20. So this is your turnover, not your net profit. So this should just be your sales or business related income. Again, if you're not sure of what this should be, you can contact your accountant and they can help you determine this. For this purpose, I'm just going to put in an amount. Owner of business name. So this is where you would put the owner's details, the email address, and the mobile number. So you have to put it in the format of +61. Then the contact details of the person completing the form. So if you are completing the form on behalf of someone else, then you put in your details here. If you're completing the form for yourself, then you can put in your own details. And your role within the business, so I may be the director. Phone, again in the +61 format, +614. And then again for the mobile, you can put in the different numbers, email address, are you an authorised business representative, for example, accountant, tax agent, lawyer, etc., representing the business? So if you're filling this out for your own business, then you would select no. If your accountant was filling this out, then they would select yes. Business address subject to stage 3 restrictions. So this is where you're putting in your actual business address, where you're currently trading. And the suburb. And then your postcode. Once you've completed that detail, you can proceed. So the next page is how you intend to use the $5,000 grant. So you can pick one or more of the following options. So it could be for meeting business costs such as utility, salaries and rent. So if you need it to cover your rent payments and your wages that you're going to pay, then you would select that option. You could be using it for financial, legal or other advice to support the business planning to get you through this time. You could also be using it for developing the business through marketing and communication activities. So if you want to spend this time developing your website so you can try and get some more online traffic to your business, then this would be the option you'd select. Or you can select other and put in some more details of how you plan to spend this funding. Then you also need to describe how the shutdown restrictions have impacted your business. So a little bit more specific about how COVID has halted your business or how it's affected you and decreased your turnover. So for example, if you're a cabinet maker and you're installing new kitchens for people and people now going through COVID are not as likely to want to spend that money on renovating the house that they're living in when they could be saving that money in case something happens during COVID and they're not getting their normal incomes either. So here we need to fill out employee details. So how many employees you have. So for example, I may have 6 employees. So this will be based on head count. So you need to count how many people are working for you at any point in time. And then how many full-time employees is that equivalent to? So say for example, if the 6 of my employees are working 2.5 days a week each, then I would have 3 full-time equivalents. And the guidance here is that if they work 35 hours or more per week, then that's full-time. What month did your business enroll in JobKeeper? So this is the original month that you enrolled. So this may be something that you need to contact your accountant to check. You may have details of this if we enrolled for you in that initial enrollment notification that we sent out. How many employees are currently receiving JobKeeper payments? So based on the most recent JobKeeper lodgement, how many employees were you claiming for? In my example, I'm going to say I was claiming for all 6. How many weeks have your employees been receiving JobKeeper payments? So at today's date, we're in the 15th week of the JobKeeper period. So you can work out how many weeks you've been involved in the JobKeeper scheme, and that's how many weeks your employees have been receiving the JobKeeper payments. Is this application for an Aboriginal business? In my case, it's not. Is this application for a social enterprise which is certified by social traders and or listed on the map for impact? So if you were on this list, you would be aware. I'd say for most cases, this answer is going to be no. Then you just need to give them some bank details so they can pay this grant to you if you are successful. And then you need to select that you've verified the BSB and account number and that it is correct. So now we need to provide some supporting documentation. So the first thing that we need to provide is evidence of physical address. So that is either in the form of a utility bill, so gas or electricity, for example, a lease agreement that shows that you are currently leasing that business premises that's located within this area, or a council rates notice. So you need to provide at least one. And then the most recent JobKeeper Business Monthly Declaration, or if you haven't had to make a monthly declaration, the original enrolment form. So this may be something that you need to contact your accountant to get a copy of if you're not lodging the monthly declarations yourself. And then if you want to attach anything additional, you can do that here. So once you've attached those, you need to read through this declaration and agreement to make sure that you agree with everything in this statement and that everything that you have entered is correct. And then once you're happy that that's all right, you can check the box, enter your name and your position or role. So in this example, I'm the director. And then you can save it as a draft or you can save and preview. And this is going to give you a preview of all of the answers that you've entered so you can review. So this is the whole application in one page. So you can scroll through and check that everything you've entered is correct. And then once you've done that, you can either save and submit or you can save it as a draft. If you save it as a draft, you can still come in here and access it to change any details. So if you do need to double check something or if you're not sure if you're registered with ASIC, please save it as a draft and check that first before you save and submit. Because if you submit and it's later found that you're not registered with ASIC, you won't be eligible for this grant. So the email that you would have received from Business Victoria while you're filling out this application will have the link to access that draft that you saved here. And then you can come in at any time, update that and submit it. If you have any further questions about the application process or if you need any assistance or any additional documents for the application, please contact your accountant and we'll be happy to help you out.